Hello again, you're watching The Global Bookworm. My name is Kelly and I thought I'd try doing something new today because I have been wanting to do more book reviews, but as Ariel Bissett says on her channel, sometimes you don't have enough to say about one book to have a designated video for that book. So I'm going to do something called 3-for-1 reviews, which as it suggests is going to be 3 reviews in one video, and hopefully that's going to satisfy my reviewing urge without giving me too much time to fall over my own tongue or make extra long videos, as it was pointed out recently I have been doing. So we're going to start off with Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini, whom I've mentioned many times before as an author I watch quite keenly ever since discovering the Star-Crossed trilogy. So Trial by Fire is about a girl called Lily who is allergic to pretty much everything in her world. She's very sickly, and following a humiliating incident at her first and probably last high school party, she kind of gives in to this mysterious voice in her head that offers to transport her to another world. In this other world, Lily is powerful, very powerful. However, she's not alone, because she has an alternate self called Lillian who rules this land and is turning into a bit of a tyrant. She's literally her own worst enemy, and she has to decide which side she's going to be on, whether she's going to just try to run away home or whether she's going to help these people in this land. And it's just really well done. We've had witches ad infinitum in young adult, but this new mythology that Josephine Angelini has given us is so detailed, so unique, and just even small details like they have bioluminescent street lamps instead of you know, traditional electric street lamps. They have sort of vertical farms because there's not enough space to have it the usual way. It's very, very vivid, and I sometimes, I'm not the most visual reader, so sometimes when an author gives me a piece of text describing a particular scene, I have difficulty grasping it and getting it, and I have to read it multiple times. Not so with Josephine Angelini. It was very vivid, and there are examples of that in my blog post. I'm going to link the blog reviews for all of these books anyway down below. There's more detail in each of them. So there is also a love interest in Trial by Fire, and it's a very interesting one as well because of his history and who she is. I gave this one 4.5 reviews on, 4.5 stars on my blog and 5 stars on Goodreads because you can't do the half star. It is very good, and one of the interesting things about it is all the people in this world wear what's called a willstone, and the willstone is like their ID, and it also stores excess memories and learning, and it also channels their power and makes their power stronger. And touching a person's willstone is akin to a physical touch. It's extremely intimate, and actually this book is quite sensual and almost sexual in some ways. It's like an adult attitude to it. It's not, ooh, they're talking about sex or anything like that. It's, I don't know, there's just something quite sexy about it, and I enjoyed that aspect. I'll be looking forward to reading more on that. The next book I'm going to talk to you about is The DUFF by Cody Keplinger. This is about 17-year-old Bianca who's having some troubles at home. Her parents are having a bit of a marriage meltdown, and one night she's reluctantly at a party with her 2 best friends when she is introduced to the horrible term, I hope it only exists in this book because it's seriously horrible, the DUFF, Designated Ugly Fat Friend. And she's introduced to this term by Wesley, the school man slut, who says that she is the DUFF and he's talking to her in order to get with her friends. She initially responds to this by throwing her Coke in his face, but as she feels the need to distract herself more and more from the crisis at home, in her home life, she winds up kissing him and more, and the story goes from there. I gave this 3.5 stars in my blog review and 3 stars on Goodreads. I did really enjoy it. I wasn't sure. I don't think that a book has to have a message, but this book did seem like it wanted to say something, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. It seems to be that we are all someone's duff, but what are we supposed to do with that? I don't really know. But Bianca starts off very, very judgmental, and she does lose some of that along the way, and my favourite thing about Wesley was that he was really very non-judgmental. He was kind of a typical man, and he was sleeping his way around, but that was his own way of dealing with his own difficulties with his home life. So I did enjoy it, and I do recommend it, and it would be one of those books that I would keep on my shelf rather than re-gifting. It also had a very realistic teen voice, and again, an adult attitude to sex. There are some sexy times going on. The final book I'm going to talk to you about is called Alienated by Melissa Landers. It's the first book in what I think is going to be a science fiction trilogy, and it follows top student Kara, who's been chosen to host one of the first ever alien exchange students, and this exchange student is called Alix. They share 95% the same DNA, so Alix looks human, and he's living in her house and they're sharing a bathroom. And the Lahirs are much more technologically and mentally advanced than the humans, and as the humans' paranoia about what this means for them, what the Lahirs could possibly do to them or want from them, as that paranoia escalates, Kara begins losing her friends, receiving death threats, and eventually the only person she has for support is Alix, who is losing some of his alien coldness through the course of the book, which follows several months. It's quite slow, and not that much happens, but by the end we've got quite a lot of action happening, so I forgive it the slow pace. And I also think it's quite realistic. The events that happen, the panic, the hysteria, the protests, I believed that. I think it was quite well thought out and believable. The relationship is also, as I said, slow to build and also believable. It's I don't know if I will read the next one. I gave it 3 stars, so it's kind of on the fence. I probably will read it, but I'm not in a great hurry. So those are the 3 books for this very first 3-for-1 review, and I was not interrupted by dogs or cats or guinea fowl, so that is a huge success in my book. Hopefully it won't be too long either. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.